What's up, guys? Ricky Analog. Got one last trade recap. This one is the OGEN one, as promised. As always, though, let's get into the disclaimer. This is not a solicitation to trade, guys. It's just for educational purposes. This disclaimer will be in the description of the YouTube channel, so make sure you're familiar with it, guys. So let's look at the chart. This is the daily, and as you can see, reminds me a lot of the IGC chart. Not quite as extreme, but nevertheless, this is an extreme move, especially when you zoom out and you see the daily history on this thing, guys. All these big pops. It's hard to tell with these candles here because I'm zoomed out so much, but all these are giant wicks. This thing usually does not hold its gains. So when you have a multi-day move like this on a pig, it really screams extreme, and the context is there for me to want to have to catch a piece of this. Now, I actually did make this one the tip of the day, the Ricky tip, the turd in play. If you haven't seen that, you can go find it. I put it on actually I put it on Twitter and Instagram, but it was a redacted version. I did post it in the room, the unredacted version, in stocktraders.net. So if you didn't see it, it is still over there, guys. If you want to go have a peek, it's free to register. I think they just need your email, and I think you'd be getting a lot of value out of joining the room anyway. But let's look at the intraday on it. It's actually coming in right now. Anyways, let's check it out, guys. We got that push into the 3. They had warrants at 310. They had convertible all up in the 250 area. So it was important to know the overhead supply was there and what levels to be watching for it. So I actually took a small starter up here at 299. I ended up I felt like it was holding too well. Seemed like it was probably going to end up squeezing a little bit. So I took it off pretty much flat. I mean, I think I made 2 cents on it or something. Anyway, when it cracked, I took it right on the crack, right through this 87. And it flushed, but it pushed right back up. So I ended up going ahead. I had a plan. I was going to stop out over 213. And actually, it was over 211. I usually give it a few pennies. So I added a little, and then when it did break, I took it off. But when we didn't break highs, I realized, I probably should have been giving it till high day. And so I threw it right back on. And then when we got the crack here, I just said, this is it. I started adding. Sure enough, now at this point, I was risking high day, but I was also willing to add a lot more size. I think I wanted 313s or 314s and 319s. Didn't get them, obviously. I still had plenty of size from these ads. So I started covering the targets. I had 261 for the first, and then obviously wanted 2. And I didn't think it was going to quite just get there in this one wash. So I took some off at 212. And I was at 191 for another little piece. And it didn't flush through. It actually it looked like it was about to. Stopped right there, 198. And then had a really strong bounce, as you can see. And when we reclaimed that 5-minute 20, we got a higher low. And then when we broke this 75, that was my cue to exit. And I actually still exited for, I think the last little sliver was for plus 10 cents or something. So even on the last little piece, I still made a little bit more to the padding, but I was very surprised by the strength. And then it broke highs actually and made a nice shove there, and then it got this big sell-off, and it made me think that this all was letting this push back up, and one last chance for those guys with the 310 warrants to dump at some prices where they make some nice gains. And actually surprised to see it below 3 in the after hours. I thought maybe they'd hold it and try to push it for tomorrow. It is a huge watch for me tomorrow, guys. Anything that shoves 350 or the previous day's high day, which is up here at 374, I'm going to be extremely interested in this. It had a lot of volume today. Traded almost 98 million. So that's way more volume than this ticker typically trades. And we've been seeing that a lot lately. Like IGC did 118 million shares today. October is rocking, guys. And the volume's there, the liquidity's there, the moves are there. Things are making really big moves. But it's important to make sure that you're taking calculated risk on these things and not getting ahead of yourselves. Like I was okay taking these off with this push in the over 311, knowing that if we did stuff, I can always put it back on, guys. And that's something we preach in the room. It's okay to stop out and reassess. You can always put a trade back on, but you don't want to be it's better to wish you were in a trade than to wish you weren't. And that's very good advice to live by, guys. It sucks to be that guy that's stuck in something going, why did I take this trade? So if you're having trouble getting game plans together for these types of tickers or trades or ideas or whatever, come over to stocktraders.net, guys. It's free. We have a free 3-day trial for the premium room as well. You can DM any of the mods. Everybody over there is pretty knowledgeable. Even the community at large, those guys are all crushing it and contributing. So it's not even just the mods, guys. You can ask anybody in the room, and usually someone's going to have some pretty good input and valuable perspective to give you. Hopefully we see you guys over there. Stocktraders.net, Ricky Analog. I'm out. Peace.